Welcome to Sri Tara School of Wellbeing, Episode 28, Parenting Part 3. I'm Surbhi Khurana. I'm not a psychologist or a psychiatrist. All I'm telling you is from my experience and what worked for me. Parenting problem, project, or pleasure. Like I said in the previous part, that is Parenting Part 2, I'm talking about the feeling of love, care, and respect and doing the best for your loved ones. Doing everything and anything for them. These feelings are basically there. And in every close relationship, you want the other to understand your feelings. But not only do they not understand your feelings, but they understand something else. There is a consistent communication gap. Now, how will your children be any different in terms of this communication gap? The feelings and emotions are basically the same, which are there in other relationships too. But you do not feel like asking when it comes to other relations because you feel you did whatever best can be done with others. Now, no one can tell you anything. You have trouble with others, but since they're so insensitive, stubborn, stupid, or wrong, that nothing can be done. You feel that these issues with others cannot be resolved. They will only end if either yours or the other's life ends. It is useless to even talk about those issues. You are ashamed of even saying what the other does, whereas the other is not even ashamed of doing it. And it's not that you do not have fun with others, but the fun is not your problem. I'm only talking about the issues you have with the others and the reasons of those issues. A lot of people accept their issues and ask questions about them. But as soon as we start answering, they start telling us that it's not that they don't enjoy. So that we don't forget that no one fights or remains sad for 24 hours. Yes, we know that you enjoy too. But the fact is, most of the times, the pain of unresolved issues overpowers the enjoyment. Basically, the root cause of your parenting issues are also the same as the issues with spouse, in laws, and others. That is why I'm saying it is impossible that you only have issues with children and not with others. You do not ask about the issues you have with your spouse because you have to maintain a happy couple image in front of others. Also, you have to maintain your intelligent person image. What will the other think if they find out that you are so stupid that you could not even handle issues with your spouse? They might say, "We thought you had a great understanding. You seem to enjoy a lot, but you fight also and even leak out internal issues." Similarly, there will be issues with mother in law, father in law. If they stay with you, then there are bound to be many issues. Now, issues might be pertaining to in laws, children, tidiness of the house, earning, expenditure, or duties. It is impossible that you do not have conflicts on these issues with your spouse. You share so much relatives, things. You have to make choices which will affect both your lives. Then, beyond a point, there is a difference of opinion in every matter. How can you not think about the unresolved issues you have? Suppose you learn best parenting techniques, but the children are yours and your spouse's. Whatever you learn in terms of parenting, you will need your spouse's help to apply that on your kids. But your spouse is not learning parenting, so he will try to impart his understanding to the kids. What will you do then? You will say that I have read in books or heard from the experts that this should be done with kids. Whenever you have an issue with your spouse over the kids, he will tell you what should be done, which you will not understand because, firstly, you have an understanding of what should be done with the child and what should not be done and why. Secondly, you are reading and hearing experts and now hearing these recordings on parenting too. So, you will want to tell him what should be done with kids and what not and why. Then he will say, "To hell with books and experts. These are my kids and I will never let you do this with them and I will definitely do that with them." Or he will warn you not to do as you desire with them. If you tell the kids not to eat something unhealthy, he might say, "Why are you being so strict and acting like a Hitler?" You might say, let's make them join that class. He will say, let them chill and enjoy at home. Or he will say, not this, but make them join that class. You will say that if the child misbehaves, I want to punish him, or not let him have chocolate or ice cream, or not let him watch TV because of his misbehavior, or give him time out, that is, as experts say, that make the child sit in a corner for as many minutes as old he is. Your spouse will say, you're crazy. We were also kids. Our parents never did this. Are we misbehaved? And as far as misbehavior is concerned, you are misbehaving with the kids by killing their childhood, by not parenting them as I'm telling you to. So, what will you do by understanding parenting without understanding how to be a spouse first? And if you understand how to be a spouse first, that is, if you learn to deal with the issues with spouse first, if you learn to communicate first, then what is left to understand in terms of relationship issues? Conflicts happen between all couples. In some couples, husband dominate the wife. In some, wife dominate the husband. For children, it's very disturbing to see their parents fight. And don't think kids do not find out about your fights if you don't fight in front of them. Children do figure it out. You certainly give this pain to your children. You are hurting them. So your first question should be, how should I stop hurting my children? How should I train them to not fight at home, not be filled with hatred, not get hurt, not get angry, and not blame the other? How should I train them to not have conflicts, to not have a distance with close ones and enjoy life? At a young age, when kids see their mom and dad fight, they feel they will not fight with their spouse when they grow up. And after marriage and kids, everyone wants to give their kids the best environment. It won't even be correct to say that we think this. Basically, everyone feels I won't fight. I will not ill treat my kids. Children get scared when they see their parents fight. You must have experienced this when you were a kid, and I'm sure you see your kids get scared now when they see you fight. Even if you don't teach your kids anything, even then you are teaching your kids to fight. You are together teaching them anger, Cold War, answering back, to be sad even after having everything. If your first question regarding parenting is not how to give a peaceful environment to kids at home, then see, your mind doesn't give primary importance to itself, to peace of mind, to love and living without conflict with close ones. And yes, giving a good home environment to kids is not just a work done for kids. Very important side to this is that before marriage, all these couples, brother and his wife, sister and her husband, cousins and their spouse, friends and their spouse, who started fighting with their life partners on every tiny issue, certainly seemed crazy to you. You thought you were nice, well informed, broad minded, and well educated, loved, liked, and respected by all. Thought you will never fight, but all that you had thought failed. Naturally, you're filled with sadness, stress, unhappiness, and guilt. You enjoy a lot together, too, like you go to movies, malls, picnics, and parties, vacations, and all that. But inside, you have issues. Don't know where and what will cause a big fight. And when you fight, everything seems useless. You feel intensely sad. You don't know where these conflicts start and where and when they will end. With everything fun you do, this non fun side is also attached. And whether you have fun or not, this non fun side is always there. Lots of fights happen because of ways of parenting. When it comes to precious, more valuable than life child of yours, then neither of you want to step back. You bend over backwards to make your spouse understand your point of view, to make him agree with you. And the biggest fight happens when you want to explain something to the other. This must be your everyday experience. No one wants to start a fight. Neither of you figure out when and how the fight started. Mostly both of you are feeling, I am agreeing to all the nonsense you say. I will tolerate it, but I will not tolerate it when it comes to a matter related to your kids. You feel kids are your life. You are hoping one day they will understand you. One day, they will understand who is right and who is wrong and who did what for them. Almost all couples are in this state, and it is impossible that you are not in this state. I will tell you more about this in the next episode. If you benefited from this and feel you need personal attention or have severe troubling questions, you can join our program, the details of which are given on our website www.shritara.com. Thank you.